All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Peter. Morning, Adam. Morning, Double R. Morning, guys. See what we are getting so far. We'll go ahead and blow this up real quick. I know we got a short time until the market opens, so we're gonna have to kind of speed this up. But we can see that inventory is pretty much 100% net short, right? You got that the close here. The last trade here ended up before that CME settlement period, right? Most of the volume is here, so we're getting mostly net short. We just saw the market break below yesterday's low about by one tick, and so we're kind of just wait to see what happens here. We have big earnings coming out of the market after hours today. There haven't really seen much movement other than that. We did see a bit of a sell-off yesterday in Amazon and Walmart, right? Pull up Walmart right here. Pull up Walmart. We can see they had kind of a big move down, that 132 down to 120, even all the way down to 18. So a pretty significant move there if we were to do a little measuring here. Come on. You're looking at, it was about a 10% move to the downside. So a pretty significant move there. Amazon had a little bit of sympathy on its move yesterday, and Amazon starting to break the low. It's got that 110 down there, that 0 gamma level. Speaking of 0 gamma, I need to update my gamma levels real quick. Morning, Kevin. All right, so we're seeing, yeah, Amazon's coming down a little bit, and you can see that switched to actually red. So there's me selling those puts there. So, possible bounce, I think, early on. Let's go ahead and we got about 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and put Reveille on, and then we'll get going. Oh, and I can't hear it. All right. Should be nice and motivated and ready to rock and roll. Hopefully everyone's ready for not really a ton of movement coming out today. I imagine. Buzz, hello. How are you? I kind of expect more of yesterday, where we have a similar, just kind of bouncing around, not really making any definitive moves or definitive ranges, especially with a little bit bigger earnings coming out today. Zay, good morning. Until we get a little bit more information, right? The market seems to be just kind of being patient and just waiting on the Fed. Even though we've had some earnings, we do have the bigger earnings today, or some bigger earnings today. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to get my headphones to work so I can hear you guys, but for right now I cannot. I don't know why not. It's annoying the shit out of me. Oh, there we go. Could be working. There we go. Someone say something. See if I can hear you guys.
Bueller.
There we go. There we go.
Yo.
Morning, Dan. Morning, Kevin. Now? Yeah, now I can hear you.
What's up, Brett?
What's up? Now we are chilling. Okay. So like I said, I think today is going to be one of those days where you're going to have to remain patient. We have broken the previous day's low, so that gives a little bit of insight. Maybe that we come down here and repair this poor low from 2 days ago. And then really we have that balance down here. A lot of this is just going to be acting as support, I think, right? We have all these single prints below. The market could look to fill in some of these single prints to build a little bit stronger structure. Should there be some news that comes out, we definitely want to be watching some of these. We've got Apple, trading down at its lows right now. AMD kind of just balancing. Amazon, like we just looked at, trading down at its lows. Google trading down at its lows. Meta kind of bouncing back after pushing down to its low. Microsoft is on the rise today, and Netflix really not doing much. And then last but not least, Tesla getting back below that 0 gamma level. So with Apple being the leader, I'm just going to keep it up on the board so far and kind of see what we get. But yeah, here we go. We've got about a minute and 30 seconds left till the market opens. So go ahead, and now's the time to do some meditation, do some deep breathing, get yourself ready for the market to open and ready to take control of the day, right? And then also ready to smash that like button on the video. And if today is a day where you had an appointment or you had something to do, today's probably the day where you could probably miss the market, and you're not really going to be missing much, similar to yesterday, unless we get some get some other data coming out. Reyes, good morning. You didn't hear the trumpet? Oh yeah, my sound settings were kind of messed up this morning, so hopefully as the day goes on, we're ready to go. So opening up inside yesterday's range is what it looks like right now. We've got about 30 seconds until the market opens. We know that this can be a indicator that the market might be a little bit choppy getting into the open, right? There's the open. Let's see what we get. So we open lower, below yesterday's value. Really tight range starting us off. Get back above the open here. Thursday, I think Thursday will offer a pretty big move, yeah. Probably Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will probably be bigger moving days. Just a reminder too, if you guys weren't here yesterday, I won't be here on Friday. We're gonna head out to the beach for the weekend, so I'm gonna take Friday off this week. But I will be back with you guys on Monday. There is some news coming out on Friday, right? Some economic data that's going to be coming out. We'll have to pay close attention for that when the time comes. Another tight range. Got that prominent point of control up here at the 39.58. So we'll look to see if buyers show up above the open, and get up there and kind of test that. Remember that overnight inventory is 100% net short. If you look at the market with a CME gap, right, that CME gap would be up to the 70. So like just a bit of back and forth here. Buyers starting to come in here. We're done. So back and forth around the open again here. No real continuation that time when it popped above the open. So let's see if we get some volume down here. looking for that offer to come in and start to push the market a certain direction, but nothing really specific yet. If they can break that low here. Still tapering down there on that low. Only 5 contracts traded on that low tick. So buyers looking to be active in yesterday's excess so far. We'll know if the market trades back above that 39.50, which is the balance high. Trap shorts on BTC around 20,800. Apple's coming back down to its open here. Real back and forth. We just broke down below yesterday's range. A little bit of short covering on that 44.50. See if they keep moving down and reoffer this level. Watch that 48.75. Above that 48.75, we might get a little bit of short covering. That'll probably look to take the market back up to the open, probably. Take a quick look around. We're seeing oil's up about 1%, sitting about 97.73. The ES is down about 0.5%. Gold is basically flat. The Nasdaq's down almost a full percent. Russell down 0.78 and the Dow 0.3. Looks like a little bit of tapering off this low here. More volume coming in down at the low. They're looking to probably repair this poor low here. Better late than never. Morning, Pop. Lecker, hey, what's up, man? A lot of volume coming in down here around the 45. This offer level sitting right here at the 46.5. And there they go. So just a little bit of short covering down there on the low, around that 44. Offer at that 50 still. Still some selling on the 50. Above the 50, you might get short covering back up to the high, back over to the open. Call put is 6 to 112. So a lot of negative volume coming in on the options side of the market today. Apple's coming down here. See, Apple's down about 0.5%. AMD down 1.13. Amazon down 3.5%. Google down 1.8, Meta down 1.4, Microsoft down 1.7, Netflix down 0.6, Tesla down 1.6 as well. Sellers trying to get this back below 47. There they go. Bot hasn't bought yet, looking like low volume probably. Yeah, I think today will be a bit, a bit low volume. The key here will be to see if this market gets accepted at 39.50. even though we are balancing on a daily level, so it may be a little bit lower, but I mean, you've got all the way down to this 39.26 of this balance area up above, and we've seen value pretty much overlapping. We're at value here, then overlapping to higher, then overlapping to lower, then overlapping 100%. And we've opened the can for the downside, and so you'll be looking for acceptance below yesterday's range, right? If there is enough supply, we'll definitely repair this poor low, but if there's not enough supply and the market keeps kind of bouncing up and you see this tapering off of the low here, then probably trade back into yesterday's value. And as you can see, that A high was almost right at the value from yesterday, so probably mechanical selling up there as well. Bunch of shorter term time frame traders and weaker handed traders selling in the market today, if I had to guess. Buyers really need to push it above that 50 and kind of hold above that 50 in order to get really any consistency or any follow through to the upside. Where the volume's coming in at, pretty much right at the excess of yesterday. Where's that weekly VWAP at? Weekly VWAP's all the way up at 39.63. Still a seller here trying to keep this thing below that 47. Some sellers just got trapped on 46 quarter. Wait, watch for a short cover and rally here. A little bit of backfilling, giving sellers an opportunity to sell the 50 again here. But buyers look to be kind of stepping up. Yep, the bot's in a call. Yeah, I kind of suspected that. Yeah, so watch for this little short covering rally here if we keep popping up. Buyers do look like they're trying to step up, and we did get some sellers trapped there down at the 46 quarter. So target here is probably that open 52.75. Amazon's coming up here. Google's on the low. Microsoft on the low. Meta on the low as well. There goes the open. Check above the open. Kind of what we were expecting there. Let's see if they get any movement. What's up, Tommy? Michael, good morning. A little bit of mechanical selling off that open there. Look at the breadth. Breadth is negative, but we're not really anything too crazy, right? No convincing to either side really. At least not yet. Apple's coming down to its low here. Call puts now 30 to 133. More than 32 people today. Oh, 32 point range today. Yeah, for real. Hopefully we get there. And take a peek at our weighted sectors. Pretty flat so far. And we've got, kind of a mixed bag when we look at the individual indices here. What is T2, Caesar? Good morning, by the way. T2 is the 2 days ago low. I just have it so it marks that. Especially when we're in a balance zone, just makes it easier. I don't have to draw the lines, right? Here's 3 and then 4. Well, it's just 2 days ago's low. And then you can't see it here, but this 39.46 is the prior day's low, yesterday's low. Let's see if they can get back down. Remember, we said their sellers trapped down at the 46 quarter. That's where they're kind of targeting here. They need to get below the 47.5 first, but they're stuck down there at that 46 quarter, it looks like. Yeah, no real significant volume, especially not since the open. So looking back into yesterday's excess, looking for buyers to step up. The market is. I'm pretty neutral for today. So offer still sitting on that 46 quarter now, 46 half. That's where they got trapped earlier. There's a 460 lot order sitting on the 48. So let's watch this order. Look and see if they're just using this offer to try to fill below, right? It's about 1.25 above current price. But if it doesn't trade and you see it pop above, you'll probably get a run back up over to the open again. And it would just be kind of, to me, looking like a symbol of buying down below yesterday's low, if it trades above, right? See if they can get that or low here first. So that offer still hasn't moved. It's just sitting on the 48. It's 500 lots. So still just holding down here. Not seeing any short covering yet. A little bit there on the 42 quarter. Like just volume is just coming in lower here. Right down to that T2 low, looking to repair it. That's not really repaired. CH, hey, what's up? You were proud of yourself yesterday. My performance was pretty good right up until M period, which is why I reminded myself to read my rules between the trades. Yeah, that's definitely an important task. Can you explain how you see 100% inventory and what it means? You mean like 100% inventory short? So I'm talking about overnight inventory typically when I'm talking about that inventory. And so here's the settle from yesterday, and all of the trading happened below the settle, right? This end period is during the settlement period. But so with inventory all below the settle, that's kind of telling me that inventory is 100% net short. That's where I gather that information from.
So then now that now that you know it's 100% net short, what does that tell you?
So what that tells us is to look for a correction of overnight inventory off of the open, right? And so because we really didn't get one, that just tells us that maybe some of these sellers are a little bit stronger handed sellers, or maybe there's a little bit more inventory in the market today, or a little bit more supply in the inventory. Excuse me, I'm all tongue tied today. A little bit more supply in the market, indicating that there's, maybe some weak-handed buyers or maybe some stronger sellers. Right, and when you have inventory, especially when it's 100% either way, you're looking for that initial correction off the open, but we didn't get it today.
But inventory of the whole fund, or because it's just a big fund, right?
It's a futures contract, so inventory of the current of the previous trading session, of the Globex trading session.
Right. It's not an individual stock. It's a group of stocks all together, right?
Well, it's a futures
It's an inventory of
contract.
all of them put
It's
together.
a futures contract that's represented by 500 stocks, 500 equities.
Right. Okay.
But it's not like the
So the
this
inventory of the contracts you're saying. So inventory of contracts.
right. So inventory. So if you think about it, of the buys and sells, there is 100% net selling compared to buying. Right, there was a lot more aggressive selling going on during the Globex session last night compared to buying in the Globex session. .48 still has a 500 lot order sitting on it. Coming back into the offer spot right here at the 43. See Apple's coming down to its low after checking above. CH Youssef, hello from Facebook. So we're seeing a little double distribution action here early on, right? We've got some volume sitting above here. Market moved down, starting to get a little bit of distribution. Let's see if these sellers that are short from up here are willing to move down and kind of backfill this area before getting a continuation of the downside. We did repair that poor low, or that poor low, weak low, however you wanted to determine it. Below that T2 low, no real selling action came about, and now the market is kind of pushing back up, and there it goes. Pops above that 48. There is buyers that trade that 48 there. So that is interesting. So just to kind of like we thought here, and now I wouldn't be surprised to see the high get tested. We had the market trade down. That big offer was sitting on the 48, holding the market down. Didn't really get any continuation once we repaired that poor low, and the market just trades back into value. Finally getting more call counts, which is a good indication of the upside. The new home sales, June new home sales due in 9 or about 8 minutes here. Looking for the high here, honestly. That's what I'm looking for. High of day, which is at 55. What was this, like, yeah, 55. Target the open first. We saw mechanical sellers come off the open and no real strong buyers showing up above the open at that point. Remember, I mean, hopefully everyone's written down this 48 level. That's right. It was a key level today so far. Seeing some sellers stuck on the 48 right now. If they can't get it back down below the 48, probably pop up to the open here. There they go. So they're able to get it there. got themselves stuck and then was able to find some homies to get them down below to get them unstuck, if that's a word. I'm kind of a believer in if you say it, it's a word. So still tapering off of the upside. There's still that offer sitting right there above the open. If you look at the volume profile here, we can kind of see where this little volume nodule sticks out just a little bit farther than all of the other ones, right there above the open, kind of telling me that there is a mechanical seller sitting there above that open. Now buyers are kind of going to get the opposite chance here. It looks like, you know, coming back down into value, got this weak spot on the profile around that 45. If buyers are willing to step up above that and push price back up to the highs here. Right here at the VWAP sitting right on the 48. What a surprise. If you're in a trade, right, just be careful when this new home data comes out. We've got about 6 minutes left until the new home data comes out. It could cause the market to move pretty significantly. Really just looks like the market's, you know, sitting back in value, balancing between these volume areas, preparing for this data to come out. Let's see what the consensus was. I'm pulling up Twitter right now. Home sales do 10, seen 5.2, going negative. They're expecting negative 5.2. People are posting pictures of houses on fire and commented, bulls crying. Be interesting to see how the price, the average home price comes in this week, and see, it'll give us a pretty decent sign if we're getting a decline or
They're saying it's a pretty big turnaround right now. That there's houses that didn't sell, and that and then they're not getting all the offers that they were getting, you know, before. There's actually way more inventory this month, supposedly. At least in
Rob Farley, good morning and evening. Yeah, depending upon where you're at. That's for sure. Or afternoon. Or night, right? If you're in Australia, it's pretty late in the day. So back to the VWAP, back and forth over and over. Kevin, what were you saying? Sorry, I missed your question. I was typing something up.
So no, I was saying that they were saying that homes had a big turnaround, and that there a bunch of homes that didn't sell, and they weren't getting, you know, before they were getting 5, 6 offers on the day you put out there. They're not getting the offers right now. There was a huge turnaround just in the last month, you know, because they were saying, you know, with the you know, houses going up, you know, 20% or more, and interest rates going up, that just $100,000 difference in property was like, it's like an $800 difference in mortgage payment. It's like for the same house. So then you got price of everything else going up. The people just, I don't know, big turnaround buying is what they're saying. So we'll see. Be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. It'll be interesting to see the rate change here too on tomorrow. Actually, the rate change could really affect some uh some response, right? And in a lot of areas, like there's areas like Orlando, Las Vegas, Phoenix, big areas that are getting affected a little bit more because the run-ups in those areas have been a lot higher than some of the other places as well. We hear the dog barking. Today's garbage day, so he might go crazy. He fucking hates the garbage, man. Minute and a half left until this next period opens up. 48 still the big level so far. One minute. So if you're in a trade, like I said, make sure you're managing risk. We can get a pretty volatile move when these numbers start to drop here. I am watching them on Twitter, so when they come out, right? But, honestly, the numbers don't really matter to me at all. I'm just looking for the move off of them. And this FOMC is from the last FOMC meeting, right, where they had said that equities were priced a little bit too high. So we're basically right at the same exact spot that we had the last FOMC meeting before pushing down back in June. Ten seconds. Bill Ackman expects Fed's Powell will show hawkish resolve and not only maintaining higher rates for longer. There goes B period. Not a huge reaction yet. I'm looking for the number. Home sales month over month down 8%. Forecast negative 5.4. Previous was 10.7. Revision 6.3. So new all-time low on consumer expectations here. Starting to get a little bit of a negative reaction. That B comes right off the half back of the day. Back breaking the low. Expectations have hit a new low since 2013. Confidence situation 143.3 versus 147. So kind of a miss, but we've been getting a lot of positive movement off of negative data. So got that poor low forming right now. 37 contracts traded on that low. A lot of volume came down in on that B low, which kind of looks suspicious. And see if we get that tested again here. That 39 quarter. Not able to fix that poor low, even with all the volume down there again. That weak spot sitting up at like 46. It just skips right up. That's hilarious. Hilarious. When does the news drop, Mark? The news are just dropped right here at the top of the hour. Buyers stepping up right here on the 45. See if they get any continuation. You're getting met with some selling as well. Watch the weak spot on the profile. 41.75 is the weak spot below us. Buyer's still trying to step up on this 45 here. VWAP sitting at about 47 now. Damn, missed it. Nah, you didn't miss it, bro. And hello. Dealing with flooding here in Missouri? Dang. Yeah, I saw something on the news about some flooding out there. What part of Missouri are you in? There's been some storms coming through lately up here on the East Coast. Senior U.S. State Department officials for East Asia, Chinese provocations against South China Sea claims are on the rise. Let's see. Consumer confidence report, they just posted it. You wonder if this is just, yeah, there they go. You know, like a bad news situation to where they try to, you know, trap as many late or laggard shorts here at the lows as possible. We'll watch to see if this thing can pop the open. Above the open, we'll be targeting the last and that half back from yesterday where we saw the market end. And, you know, this A high is sitting right here at the top of yesterday's value area. Let me look at the volume from that last period. Actually, I forgot. About 12% more than yesterday, so actually some pretty decent volume during that A period. So still not able to break above that open here. Started setting up TOS yesterday for internals. Yesterday's learning a new platform bites. Yeah, learning a new platform is always a tough go, Rob, but I think, you know, definitely worth it. See, Apple's trying to turn green here, and you're starting to see some volume step up at these higher prices here. Let's see if we get any continuation. Looking to see if they pop that open here. Oh shit. MPGM, I tried to send you an email to connect to your Discord, but returned with an error message, address not found. Brad at thetradevets.com. Yeah, it should work. Let me see. Um, Let me see here. But anyways, yeah, let me post. I'll just post the Discord for you right here, so you can jump in there and join it. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not working. I'll have to look that up. At Brad at thetradevets.com. Yeah, it should work. Let me see. Oh, back down to that 48 level again here. But here's that link, bro. What? No, he's probably asleep right now. Yeah, it's only 7 o'clock on the West Coast, Curtis, so probably, yeah. He's probably still asleep. I don't know. Oh yeah, I just tried to send it to my other email and it says it's not working as well. That's interesting. Well, I guess we're fucked. Oh, that's stupid as fuck. I'll figure it out today. I don't know what's going on with that. News POS. News. Oh, the news was negative actually. Um, Still offering this 48 level. So this 48 level being a big battleground so far, and these sellers still trying to move down and offer this level here. We'll see if they can get any continuation. Really just, balancing here. Have that poor low, which kind of shows that there was lack of supply down here at the lows again. So, but it looks like, just a big battleground here at the 48 level. Not really seeing any huge offers or anything, just back and forth so far. Me 1 second, guys. Do you have any other side incomes apart from trading, YouTube, or courses, or anything you recommend looking into? Or do you stick to master one thing? I don't make any money off of YouTube or the courses. I started putting everything out for free. I do have income from like real estate and stuff, like, you know, on a couple round table pizzas, rental properties and stuff like that. But other than that, my main income is trading. Yeah, I decided to not really charge for anything on YouTube because, you know, people get charged for enough shit in their lives, and I don't need money from YouTube. You know, a lot of people do like affiliate marketing and all that kind of shit, but I don't know. It just seems like, to me, it just seems like more work than I don't know. I'm just not a nickel and dimer, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like nickeling and diming people for, you know, little extra income because I can trade for that, you know, and it's just, you know, it's just unnecessary. I know there's a lot of people that do it. It's a lot more work than people let on, I think, right? Like, if you want to make money on anything really, any of these side hustles or anything like that, you know, it's not as easy as everyone lets on. Like, oh, I made $4,000 doing this simple fucking watching videos on YouTube, right? It's just not. I mean, I don't know because I've never really tried it, but it seems too good to be true to me. And normally things that seem too good to be true are probably too good to be true. And you know, I just don't think. I just don't think they're letting on, and that's what most people see, right? Like, a lot of people, especially, like, I'll use my dad as an example, right? They see him in the Discord posting his gains every single day, you know, and might think, oh, Brad's probably giving him all of his trades, which I'm not giving him shit. He's, you know, there's just no point because that's not going to help him. But the thing that I have given him is basically the keys to the door, right? And he opened the door himself and walked through the door and ate the red pill, and he's doing well. There's no specific like shortcut to any of these things. So even a side hustle, right? Like, it, you know, getting a rental property or opening up your own pizza store, like, there's no necessarily easy button to do this to make it so everything is just passive, right? It all eventually becomes like that after time, but that's the thing, is like, you have to put in the time. There's not going to be some specific thing that's going to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to fucking buy a laundromat and, you know, boom, uh here comes the easy money just flowing in my account every single week, right? It's just not how it works. But I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. All right. Sebastian, yeah, of course, man. Of course, bro. That's all you can get here is the real. You can make as much money as you want once you know how to trade, and I think that's why most successful big traders remain in the shadows. Yeah, if I mean, I think that there is some people that are out there that are willing to help. Um, you know, it does make sense that some people charge, right? Like Peter Resnicek charges because what he teaches is very complex and takes a lot of time, and he really does take a lot of time and effort out of his own schedule um to help people. And so, you know, it makes sense. And, you know, they have a nice website and that costs money. So most of them, and I mean, it's so cheap to subscribe to like Shadow Trader or something like that. And so, you know, I think really they're just using that subscription income to pay for their website. But other than that, you know, like I don't really think that there is a lot of people out there are using that affiliate marketing, right? Especially in the crypto verse where they're like, oh, sign up with my Bybit number, and you know, and they get a percentage of everything that you trade, right? You know, kind of how I think that, you know, a certain crypto trader was just not really trading, or because they had a deal with the exchange and how many followers they had, they got to trade for free and, you know, made the most of their money off of people following and buying their indicators, when in reality, you know, the number one indicator that you can have on your chart is yourself, right? You understanding how the auction process works and understanding the psychology of your competitors, the other traders that are in the market, is really what's going to give you the opportunity to you know, be successful, especially long term. Remember, there's a lot of traders out there that'll have really big years, you know, make $1 million, make 2 million, make 5 million this year, and then next year they'll lose 5 million. Yeah, you know, that's not something that I'm interested in, especially not losing. Look at the breath picking up a little bit negative here down to the lows. So just be careful here. Um, but you know, it's just, and I'm not bashing on that, right? Because it's a hustle. Because it's not easy to do that either, right? It does take a lot of work. Right? You guys can see the website that I used to have has gone to shit because, you know, I don't manage it. Because I just don't, not that I don't have the time, it's just that I don't really care to put in the time or the effort into it in order to make it, you know, some fancy website that everyone can go to and do this or that, right? I just be like, hey, just join the fucking uh Discord. And if you have questions, just send me a message in the Discord. That's the easiest way for me, right? Because Discord is on my phone. Even if I'm not at my computer, I'm able to manage it. I don't have to worry about doing all these things on the internet or learning a new interface, right? And graphic design and website design is just not really something that grasps my interest, right? I'd rather spend my time on the computer doing research and understanding the market, or spend my time reading, you know, something productive rather than making a website that's really cool. And if that, you know, if that doesn't get as many people to come trade with us, then, you know, what can we do? It's not the kind of people that, you know, we really want anyways, because I want people to know that there is no easy button, right? Because there is no such thing as an easy button. We just have, you know, the most important thing to me, which is time. And that's what I'm trying to teach people to take control of, is take control of their own time. Getting some selling moving down here on the 39 quarter, but looks like they're not really making any progress yet. There we go. Next low down here is at the 31. Peter is a real helpful dude in his industry. Heard a lot of good things about him. Yeah, I really like Peter. Yeah. And he's just, I mean, he's just so fucking smart. What do we got? About 9 minutes or 8 minutes till the next period opens up. MP, you're able to jump in the Discord? Perfect, perfect. A little bit of short covering off of that 39 quarter there. Go back up to that T2 low, mechanical selling coming in off that T2 low. They'll be looking to shove it back down below that 39 quarter. If they can't get it below that 39 quarter, look for it to cover back up to around that 45. Apple's coming back down to the low. A little quick look around. Oil's up about 1%. Gold's basically flat. ES is down 0.7. NASDAQ leading the way down 1.3. Russell 0.9. Dow 0.3. Bonds are up about 0.5 here. Apple's down 0.7. AMD down 1.3. Amazon down 3.7. Google down 1%. Meta down 2%. Microsoft down 1.8. Netflix down 0.8. Tesla down 0.23. VIX is up about 5%, sitting at 2450 here. I get back below that 39 quarter. Look for more volume to come in here to push this thing a little bit lower. There it is. Coming in on that 38 half. So offers trying to come in. It's 37.75 here, but not really any like extreme volume or anything really. Not really any like power. Watch the 39 quarter. Pop above that 39 quarter could shake you back up to that 41 half. See if those mechanical sellers are still waiting. There you go. There's some selling. No follow through. Little absorption down here on the low. Let's see if they can get some gas here. So nothing, no follow through. A little bit of backfilling here. Look for the 39 quarter. Like we said, there should be a spot that the sellers try to re-offer and take this thing lower. If not, probably look to trade back up to that T2 low and see if those mechanical sellers are still willing to move down and sell below that T2 low, or sell at the T2 low. It looks like they were. $39 quarter, there it is. Sellers still active there for the most part. Three minutes. So let's see if these sellers are active back at the 41.50. Did its third buy for the day, trying to average things in for those AMD calls.
Oh, his bot. Okay. That's his strategy, though.
Oh yeah, not me. I'm not an average inner. So kind of a last chance really right here, I think, for these sellers to hold this 39 quarter. I've got my stop on that 40.75, so if we pop back up, I'm just going to jump out of this short. So they held it for now. Let's see if we can get any follow through. We've got about 50 seconds until this next period opens up. We're just holding down on the lows here. See if they get a little bit of short covering before this next period opens up. Remember, something that I like to consider, right? I mean, even here, we're going to be possibly opening up on a little bit of single prints, but, you know, if we do get that, this will be showing a liquidation of probably the buyers that are stuck from up here, and we'll be looking to use an area like this as a resistance unless they close it up right away. So there goes C period, no singles this time. Here's that 39 quarter again. They keep holding it. We have that poor low. Yep, we are one time framing down to the low side here.
Oh. Sorry, Brad, I forgot my mic was on.
No worries, bro.
Just not throwing F-bombs like I did that one time.
There goes a break of that B low. Let's look for some continuation here. Weak spot on the profile, 70 half. Volume still moving in lower. The breadth isn't really convincing me of any significant downside yet. I've moved my stop right here above that C high, so if we do trade back above that C high, I'll just jump out of this short. Still offering these lower prices here. Here we go, come on. Fix that low tick and not able to trade it much lower there. Back and forth all over today. Look at the volume. %9 more than yesterday. Yesterday was like an extremely low volume area, or extremely low volume day, which was, you know, pretty significantly low, which was surprising, but not really surprising when you take a look at the profile. So sellers still holding this 39 quarter. Above 39 quarter, we'll probably see a bit of a pop, but until we get above that 39 quarter, you know, it still looks like volume is trying to come in down here lower. Apple's on the low here. Amazon's actually above its open, but still down about 4% compared to yesterday because that sell-off after market. Google just kind of looked below, but kind of popped back up. Call put ratio is 12 to 82, so still some more puts coming in. How would the breadth look for definite downside? So like, I mean, you could see this thing, you know, 10 to 1, 20 to 1. I mean, we could see it, you know, I've seen it pretty negative before, so, you know, it could really get pretty ugly down to the downside. Still watching that 39 level. Stuff starting to bounce. There it is. Watch this 39 quarter here. This is where they need to hold. Sellers need to hold, or else this thing will probably get a little rally back up to that T2. I'm out of that short, guys. Still a seller active looking here at this T2 low, but we'll kind of see. $420 lots on the C low. Just saying.
It's not quitting time yet.
We've definitely got that seller still active at this 39-ish area, even though he released them a little bit, but not really any follow through here. Apple's coming down. So you can see that with the weighted sectors, or the tech sectors, are really dragging the market down today. Healthcare, financials, industrials, consumer staples, utilities, real estate, all green. Energy's down a pretty significant amount as well. That's the thing on Friday too. There's a big energy earnings on Friday, which could make Friday extremely volatile day as well. So that's definitely something to pay attention to on Friday. Normally Friday is pretty blah day, but this Friday could actually be a bit more what do you call it? A bit more active, a bit more volatile. Seller's offering this 36.75 here.
Amazon wouldn't.
No, that's a scam.
iPhone and AirPod.
Yeah, it's a scam.
I didn't see anything else.
Weak spot on the profile right here, 38.50. Looks like some buyers got trapped right there on the 39, trying to go for a breakout up to the backed up to the upside. Seller's still moving down here, it looks like. Kind of looks like some possible short covering here down at these lows, so just be careful. Like I said, I got back ticked on that position, so I'm out of the short, but it still looks like the short side is the right side for the most part. You love those fake Amazon calls? Yeah. It seems like someone's being like extremely patient and kind of buying down here. Um, but you know, nothing really significant to kind of spook the market back up, and the selling is still just coming in here. Morning, Patrick. That weak spot's 38.5. And it looked like buyers got trapped on the 39, so they're going to be looking to get above that 39. Look at our weighted sectors, and our tick is starting to get above that 0 level. Kind of made a higher low here. See if it can break out to take it higher. And if it does break out above this level, that'll probably take us above that the current C high. So they give it up. Look for sellers to try to reoffer this level. They are looking to try here this 39.5. Still holding. Not really a ton of bigger orders coming through on the tape today either. So they hold the 39 once again. Really tight range so far on this C period. Margaret. One thing I will say about the East Coast is there's a lot more bugs over here than there are in California. That is for certain. I don't think I've ever had as many bug bites as I have. I even switched my body soap. I heard that, what's this shit called? Irish Spring is, supposed to be like a repellent for mosquitoes. We've got 10 traders trapped on the low here on that 35.50. But it does look like offers are trying to come down, but if they give up this 39 level once again, it's just, it's just not looking good. 39.5, excuse me. Starting to get that double distribution feeling again here. Yeah. Stupid fuck. Same here in Texas versus Idaho. So many bugs. Yeah. Yeah, how was that drive? You were done with the drive? Apple's kind of bouncing off of its low, but still not getting back into its range here. Watch for selling on this move up on that 41.50, that T2 low. Yeah, electric fly swatter. Yeah, I ordered one actually on Amazon. I have one, but it's in my household goods, so it's still on its way. Won't have it until I get them all my stuff delivered to the house. So still that seller's active on that T2 low there. Look for the push down. Like I said, there's some sellers trapped down here at the 35.50 right on the low. They're going to be looking to get below that, really below that 36.75. We should see some liquidation from longs as well, but and I'm a very, very tight range on this C period. I'm not in a trade right now, just, pretty unbiased, letting the market kind of decide. Had a decent short going, but got back ticked, and mechanical traders are getting the best of the market today. Maya. Maya. Can you ask mommy to make me a coffee? Thanks. Coffee, good job, BRB. Yeah, the market's just chilling, you know. Yeah, that fly landed in my coffee. I can't drink it now. A lot of volume coming in down here. Waiting for that point of control to shift down and see if we get some movement. But really 41 to 35 half. Right, we're in like a 6.5 point range here. The C period. Well, I'm gonna get my first haircut on the East Coast today, 3:30. I'll let you guys know if the East Coast knows how to cut hair.
I have the good fortune of my wife cutting my hair, so I haven't paid for a haircut in 25 years.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I normally get a haircut about once a month, and it costs about $50. But I get like a haircut and then a beard trim. Little, you know, little relaxation. You know, I like getting my haircut. I like to just chill.
Yeah.
But now that I'm not in the army anymore, I could grow my hair out a little bit. So there's the pop of that T2 low right there. And we're getting a little bit of liquidation right above it, or profit taking right above it. Let's just see if these buyers are willing to step up and flip, if these shorter term traders are still going to keep selling this, or if they're going to start buying. And if they do start buying, probably take us back into value up there around that 47 and that 46, that prior day low as well. Let's hope the east side represents. I'll take a picture and post it in the Discord. It's not easy to cut a slick back, so because I slick my hair back, you know, if I do my hair. If not, it just looks like a poof because my hair is like super thick and just kind of stands straight up. Excuse me. So it looks like the offer got pulled right there. You got some buyers trapped on the 42, so they're going to look to be trying to get back up above that 42 here. There is some decent volume stacked, at least on the DOM here, like 42 half, actually like 42 to the 44, you know, about 100 lots. So a little bit higher volume than we've been seeing lately. We did see the tick break that high and make a little bit of a higher high, but it's now starting to come back down a bit. So we'll see if these buyers are willing to step up or might get a little bit of short covering. I wrote some stuff about continuation and buy and sell imbalance this morning, trying to better understand of my auction process. Would you mind if I send it over to you to check it out? Oh yeah, of course, dude. Definitely. Yeah, so like anything like that, guys, I recommend just posting it right in the Discord. You know, no one's gonna outwardly judge you, right? And if they do, I'll just fucking, you know, delete their comments. But I don't have like the holy grail of understanding order flow, right? I just have a decent grasp on understanding it. So, you know, if you have a different way that you're looking at it that is helping you, definitely share that with the community for sure. Because like I said, it different analogies. That's why I try to use so many different analogies, and Jim Dalton will do the same thing. If you take any of his classes, he'll always try to use different analogies to to get people to understand, right? Because everything, you know, could be different, right? Like, so for like us in America, a lot of people understand either baseball or American football. If you're over in Europe or pretty much anywhere else in the world, and you make a soccer reference or football reference, as they call it in the other countries, that might be more acceptable, you know. So some people work with their hands, and that way carpenter reference might be a little bit more affordable. Some people work indoors, and a computer reference might be a little bit more you know, helpful, not affordable. Good morning. Thanks for streaming. What exchange do you use? What do you mean, Ace? And good morning as well. I'm using the CME exchange right here for the ES, and it's the Denali data feed from Sierra Charts. I could copy it into here if you guys don't mind. Yeah, of course. Go for it. Reyes, you're too much. You are too much. What do you mean? So weak volume, still mechanical selling, it looks like, at this 4150. Let's see if they give up. A lot of times when we have shorter term time frame traders, right, they don't get married to positions. So if you can imagine, there's a seller just sitting here who's been selling, and it's been working for, you know, the past, let's see, past 20 minutes here. It's been working. And if it stops working, a lot of times they'll just move and flip to the buy side, and they'll start buying that T2 low. So that's something definitely to be paying attention to if they get out of there and they give it up. You know what I mean? I'm going to read it. Trend continuation typically lasts longer if the momentum of buyers and sellers is well balanced prior to and through the move, partly because more balanced market provides the right environment to enable the dealers to keep their books balanced enough for the price exploration. I definitely like that. Thank you. Does it have cream in it?
Seriously.
Well, I just want to make sure.
Mostly cream.
Ah, perfect. Just how I like it. Thank you.
Add a little.
Right. That's how I like it. A more balanced market can accumulate liquidity quicker than an imbalanced one. The rise in the volume indicates a strong move that creates accumulating interest, enabling for more price exploration to take place. Roach said, East Coast is better at everything. Once momentum picks up, the move is also partly reliant on the traders who are in the wrong side of the move, and when they exit their positions will create momentum for continuation. Definitely. To try to create balance to a auction, the dealers and big players can make both buyers and sellers believe that their bias is correct, forcing their hands into an entry or exit upon using manipulation strategies, longer time frame breakouts, fake outs, fast moves, etc. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Good call. You may have been wearing that coffee. Oh yeah, no chance. Yeah, I think you're right on track, bro. Honestly, how you're looking at it is perfect, Double R. And I think, you know, I honestly think that is, you know, a key thing too. Like, you know, let's say they get this move and get some continuation, it could be a bigger money buyer pushing the market down into their big buy order, right? And what they do is they get that move. A lot of shorter term time frame traders start to sell, and this causes, you know, momentum traders to push into it, and this bigger buyer just sits down here and just, you know, accepts all of the selling orders, right? Because you think about it, right? If you're a bigger player, you can buy from yourself and sell to yourself over and over and over and over and over, which is what a lot of these guys do. Because as a dealer, right, you're dealing short and long. You're not just you know, you're not just sitting dealing long or dealing short. You're trading both sides of the market. That's why you like this channel. Cool, man. Thank you. There's a lot of volume down here. Still this tight range, 42 to 35. 7-point range. So about 6.25 point, 6.5 point range here. Seeing a big offer push in. At what level is this? Oh, look like it kind of flashed. Here's the garbage truck, guys.
There we go.
The garbage truck's here, guys. So I'm just gonna mute my mic for a second. You know, he hates the fucking garbage truck. So there goes the low. Couple of ticks lower there. Tommy, do I have a rough estimate of odds trading back through incomplete auctions, like when they bottom of this bar was 500 to 0? I'm not sure. They say that all unfinished, they call it unfinished business, you know, eventually corrects itself, but I have no like stats on that. It's not something that I really track, that I really care for. Because I feel it can be just one of those misleading things, right? People are just like, you know, people are just like, oh well, we did that, so we must do this, right? I just don't think there's any concrete evidence when it comes to things like that. No, a squared plus b squared equals c squared type stuff. Notice the tempo back up to that upside, right? Really telling you that there was a little bit of short covering off of that low there. Looks like they're trying to find value down here to get continuation. Definitely, I agree with that, right? You're seeing like a distribution, a double distribution. Value is definitely shifting lower, right? We have 3 TPOs, 2 TPOs up here, 3 TPOs sitting right here with value or with volume coming in below it. We do have about 4 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left until this next period opens up. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. This has been the tightest, you know, range for a while this early in the day. Starting to see some of the weighted sectors lead the market down. So if we did get a flip, which is why I'm holding Apple here, if we do get a flip in the tech sectors, I think the market probably will bounce pretty hard. But until then, really, there's no conviction really from either side. I don't think, not that I've seen yet. This too shall pass. Ayo, what's up, bro? Back up to this 39.5, which has been a big level today. Short covering happening here on the 39, it looks like, so be careful for another move back to the upside. Volume point of control shifts down.
Can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah, what's up, Joe?
Oh, not much. That was the first time I've ever heard you say something in a positive for me. I was in a long and you're like, looks like we get some upside here. I was like, thank God. That's funny.
Also, I was telling Jared this the other day, but Jim Dalton's book, Mind Over Markets, is actually on Audible now. So for those of you that hate reading, You know, it's on Audible. Not that I would suggest just listening to it, because there's a lot of visual representations that accompany the book, so you'd be having to pause it and flip back and forth. But you know, it'd be nice to just buy a copy of it, listen to it on Audible, and follow along with it. That way you can take notes in your book, or you know, at least take notes on a piece of paper while you're going through it. So there it goes. So look for it to trade. If they switch, right? This is where we're looking for these offers to switch, and kind of what we talked about, a little accumulation from these sellers, or from the buyers, excuse me. But if we get these mechanical sellers that are selling this T2 low, and they've been selling it for, you know, pretty much since we've came down here, if they give it up, we'll see a pop, and you'll see them switch sides, and they'll look to just buy it. Right? They're short-term traders, and that's just how they are, creatures of habit. You're starting to see Apple come back up into its range here. Apple not taking the high of that previous bar yet, though. And there they go. That was a well-timed trade right there. And they flipped. If you look on the DOM, you'll see inventory flipped. It's now sitting on the 42. Did an offer flip. VWAP's at 44. Look for them to maybe respond there at the 44, but probably around this 46, 45 where we have half back. You got the 35.75, TJ. Let's go. You got better fill than me. I got filled at 36 quarter. TJ front running my trades. I didn't close yet, so take some off here at the 44 maybe. Nah, or keep.
I'm out. I'm out.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to call it yet. I think I want to keep letting this thing run. I've got my stop at 41.75. If we start to get close to it, I'll maybe just jump. But I think we got some more upside. A little bit of selling off that half back. Early cessation of one time framing just indicates that the market will probably become rotational, which is, you know, what it looks like so far. You wanted the 46. Yeah, so a little bit of selling off that half back there, 45, and then the 47's catching a bid here, or catching an offer. Bid still sitting on this 42. Let's see if they step up. This is a weak spot of the profile, that 42. 66 contracts trade on that current low. At 44 quarter. Fuck it, mouse out. Offer trying to come down on this 42.75, but bounce of that probably bring us back up to that 45, which is where that mechanical selling started at. Back to that 41.75. Look to see if these mechanical buyers are going to move up and buy that 41.5. They tried right there. Those buyers tried to buy that 41.5, but they weren't successful, and now we're trading below it. Look to see for continuation here. Buying on the 41.40. We're just going to get these slow-ass ranges again today. I'm going to just log off now and get on Fortnite, I swear to God. Apple's coming back down. Little peek around the block again. Let's see. Oil's up about 0.4, sitting at 97.12. ES down 0.75, really just basically unchanged from where we started. You know, we're what's this, 12 handles lower than the open. So even tighter market than yesterday, as these people are really unwilling to, you know, really jump in the water yet before we get a big earnings release today and then going into tomorrow. I'm trying to convince my dad maybe to lead a Globex session trading today, maybe depending upon when he gets home from work or something like that. I haven't asked him yet, but I will later. Because I think that Globex tonight might be a fairly volatile opportunity, but if it is slow, and it could be slow as people wait for the Fed, so maybe have him do it Wednesday night. Excuse me. But I think it would just be good to get somebody else on the mic and kind of lead us through the trade. I'd love to have, if anyone wants to volunteer to step up, let me know. I'd love to have that. I'm just kind of volunteering my dad to do it because, why not?
He's got a good handle on it.
Yeah, he does. And his style is different than mine as well. And so it just gives different perspectives, right? And we're always trying to maintain a perspective. The way that I trade is different from the way that you trade, Pop, and then the way that I trade is different from the way that Jared trades.
Jared's a wild man.
And Jared is a wild man. The way that I trade is different than the way that James trades as well. So, it'd just be good to get that perspective out and give people the opportunity to see different people that are, being consistently profitable. And, maybe this one style speaks to them a bit more than the other. Let's see if they push it back down below this low. So they were able to take that C high. That D high was mechanical. The D low was mechanical, but they just kind of cleaned it up here. Offer moving down right here. Oh, they kind of just flashed and then disappeared. There they go. Or low. They get some continuation here.
Hey, Brad, so are these 4 charts you have on the right here, is that Sierra charts?
No,
Those
this
four
is
charts?
Thinkorswim.
Oh, on that's off TD Ameritrade. And
TD
then
Ameritrade, yeah.
Is the DOM off TD Ameritrade, or is that?
The DOM is Sierra charts.
Which is it?
Starting to get volume on this low tick here, but no follow
And
through.
then the TPO on the left is trading view, right?
This TPO is Sierra charts.
Oh, but you're not using trading view anymore?
No, I use TradingView to look at crypto.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Volume picked up right there on that push down. Let me look at the volume overall though. Volume during that C period was about 7% more than yesterday. So early on here, what I'm looking at, and this may just be a little bit too early, but we are kind of seeing that B shape again. But this time we're starting to see a little bit of a 45-degree angle form here coming in from this low. We did just make a lower low. We are one time framing. Well, actually, I guess we stopped that one time framing down there, but real mechanical push back up. So shorter term time frame traders are still in charge, but we are starting to see a little bit of a 45-degree angle form early on. Might be a little bit too early to, assess that or call that, but definitely something that we want to be at least aware of. A little short covering going on right here. Weak spot on the profile is the 37 here. So look for them to defend this 37. If they don't defend the 37, then you'll probably get a little push back down. Apple didn't make a lower low on this D period, on its D period here, so that is something that I'm paying attention to. Yeah, buddy? Yeah. Watch my coffee right there. Some hedge fund just said that they see the euro going down to 80 cents. That is not great for Europe. 80 cents per dollar. That can honestly be like detrimental for the European economy here.
What just happened? Can you say again?
There's a hedge fund that's estimating that the euro is going to drop to about 80 cents per dollar. What the fuck is going on out there?
When's he estimating that?
Let me see what they said. They just see it sliding. They didn't say when, they just said they see it moving down. There's some pretty big bids stepping up down here, and they're kind of battling at this low here. We're still watching this weak spot 37 quarter and even 37, pretty much all of 37 to 37.75 is a spot where it looks like some longs got liquidated from. Double R. I mean, yeah, I was actually talking, to Tommy about this the other day. Like, if you have an opportunity to get your hands on something over there, it might not be a bad idea to just get a couple for the stash. You know what I mean? Yeah. And better safe than sorry, I always say. Rather have it not need it than need it not have it. Just this tempo to the downside is just pathetic, right? Just very, very slow. But at least we have a D period that took out the high and the low of C, so it just kind of opens up, clears out a little bit of the weaker handed traders and maybe give us a little bit more decisiveness heading in. But like I said, if you read the trade view, I think that today is probably going to be a bit of the same like yesterday. If we look at yesterday, it was very, very dry, at least a little bit bigger range yesterday, but very mechanical, just back and forth, but no decisiveness really. It kind of looks like if they do break this low here, that there's going to be a puke, and that puke might come back down into these single prints. So that single prints is at 24 to 21. Thomas, you're in the EU? Yeah. Yeah, you guys are dealing with some shitty stuff over there, in my opinion. Stuff with these gas prices. Russia said that they're going to be cutting off like 20% of the oil exports. You know, so interesting, you know, crazy world going on right now. We're still watching that 37 level. Big offer moving down here right on the 35 half. Be super dope if Sierra Charts send me a message. Yeah, pretty fucked coming into winter. Yeah, it is. And you know,
Looks like buyers are trying here.
it's purposeful. Yeah, just watch that 37. As soon as we get above that 37, you'll probably see some of these laggard shorts start to give up. That offers at that 37 half, so once they clear that, there'll probably be a little bit of short covering back up, and then we'll just target that 41 half. But like I said, it does kind of look like a 45-degree angle, even on the volume, seeing it really taper off at the lows. So only thing that kind of disturbs me about the low is that there's just a lot of volume down here. So whoever is buying, right, could be, you know, if they do give up buying, there could be a big push down. .15 minutes into D period, we're back on the lows here. Unable to take over that 37, right? Traded right up to that 37 half. Offer was still sitting there so far. Some bigger bids sitting down around the 30-29 area. Watch this 37 half again. There it goes. They're still offering it. Looking for these sellers to give up. Still not giving up yet. Oh, there goes that. Looks like a little flip here from sellers. They were selling the 37 half and it kind of looks like they flipped and now they're going to buy the 37 half. AMD keeps bouncing off the low. It's like they want those single prints, just picking as many pockets as possible on the way down. Yeah, it does. I mean, it just looks like there's no, like the buyer that's in the market here, it just looks to be very, very patient and just, you know, buying the lows. Definitely more aggression from the sell side today. Or the safer side to be on so far. Yeah, and remember with the euro too, that's, you know, one thing we've been kind of waiting on is for that euro to crash. We saw the pound get crushed, we saw the yen get crushed, and so once the euro starts to get crushed a little bit harder and gets below the dollar, especially if it drops down to that 80 cents level. You know, that'll really spell trouble for the EU. And then you know, once we see the dollar roll over, that's when I think the market will also roll over. Typically, they say the market doesn't trade in conjunction with the dollar, but you know, typically is typically right. You know, nobody knows what's gonna happen for sure, right? Unless they have a time machine, and if they do, they're not telling anybody about it. I saw this thing the other day that said like, if you could travel back to any time in history, when would you travel back to? And someone was like, "Oh, travel back to last Thursday and get the right lottery numbers and just win the lottery." Travel back to 2006 and buy Bitcoin.
Take over the world.
Thought it didn't come out till 2008 or 9.
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Um,
I think 2009. I think Jared's right.
yeah, I have no idea.
It's
2009. Yeah, 2009. The first Bitcoin was sold in 2009 for $0. So imagine that. Would go back to Civil War. Yeah. Not trying to go back anywhere without air conditioner.
Sounded miserable. I don't know how they did it.
I seen a screenshot yesterday of a person thinking he missed the BCC boat. It said, "I only mined 600 BTC last week and I thought I got in too late." Dang. What's like that? You ever see that one guy paid like he paid for like a pizza with like 100,000 Bitcoins or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a fool.
I think that the guy that sold the pizza to him kept the Bitcoin.
Yeah, you wonder. I mean, I didn't even know it was possible to do that back then.
Probably not like we do it now. It's probably like, hey, I'll transfer these to you if you give me a couple pizzas.
Well, it was one of the first Bitcoin and he was doing it to see if he could buy something with it. Yeah, I don't know if they kept it or not.
You know that guy was bragging to his friend. He's like, some idiot just
Pizza for that.
Yeah, probably true. You know, my buddy Sanchez, he when he was deployed 2000, I think it was 2009, one of his buddies on deployment was like, "Hey man, you should be putting all your money into Bitcoin. It's going to be crazy." And you know, he was like an early adopter and, you know, crazy person about Bitcoin. He put all of his money into Bitcoin. He owns, you know, a huge uh real estate manufacturing company now. So, you know, he got out of the army and he's huge, like big time rich. But my buddy Sanchez, you know, he's still in the army. He didn't invest in Bitcoin back then. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, TJ. You know, the psychology behind it is the real thing. There goes the low. 69 contracts trade on that low tick. You know, that's what a lot of people don't understand is the psychology. They think, "Oh, I'll just bought Bitcoin," but what about when Bitcoin went up big time, right? Let me just pull up a chart here.
Because when it hit $2, you'd be freaking out selling it. You wouldn't think it's gonna go to 20,000.
right.
You know.
You know, if let's switch this to like the monthly here.
Charles Hudson gave all his ETH to his secretary. It's like 200,000 or 400,000 ETH because it was worth nothing.
Right. So like let's say here's 2000. This is 2020. Let's see. Let's just look on wait on Binance first. That's 2007. How can we see the whole Bitcoin chart?
I think Bitstamp might have the oldest.
Dang, it's too late to ask now. I was gonna say, Brad, what do you think about buying off that 32?
It looks like a little bit of short covering came in off that 32 right there. 32 half. See if they can hold it back up. It just looks like volume's still coming into the downside though. I still think the safer trade is the downside. So here we go. You know, this thing takes us back pretty far. Let's just go to it. We go bigger than a year? 12 months. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so imagine, you know, here you are in 2014. Let's say this chart goes back to 2014. Oh, this is just a cap. God damn it. Doesn't help us. Oh, here we go. All-time history. Okay, so here we go. Here's 2010, right? You're in, you know, pretty low right here. This is, you know, sitting at kind of negative. But yeah, let's say you bought, let's just make this gigantic real quick. Oh, here we go. We're right at like $1, a couple cents, right? You know, it goes. Let's say you buy they're a penny and you buy 100,000 of them, right? You know, and then it goes up to $30. What are you gonna do, right? That's like
To sell.
yeah, you know, and so and that's kind of what TJ was alluding to, the psychology behind that, and you know, what are you really gonna do, right? I mean, if you got to go back in time, you already know what it's gonna go to, so obviously you know when you're gonna hold and when you're gonna sell. But you know, I mean, even shit, it goes up to $200 or $100, and you have 100,000 of them, and you bought them for a penny. What can you do? I mean, I could tell you just from experience. You know, I got in on Dogecoin pretty early, and you know, closed too early. Market's still coming down here. Looking to trade probably down into these single prints here. Oh, BLX is the thing. You know, and that's kind of what, you know, that's, I mean, that's probably a big, a lot of volume coming in on this low here. Look at the breadth is starting to pick up. Weighted sectors are starting to catch up to the unweighted sectors. Tick coming down. Tick not really oversold here down to the low yet, though. Apple's looking to press down towards low, but hasn't broken that previous low. About 3 minutes until the next period opens up, so let's see what they get. But you know, like Warren Buffett, you know, he's just been you know, people say he's the smartest investor in the world, and really he's just had the intestinal fortitude to just never sell. The biggest diamond-handed trader in the entire history of trading. 1,000 contracts trading that low tick. If they can't, you know, push it back down below that, could be spell some absorption and maybe some disaster and a fairly hard rip to the upside. Looks like, you know, with about 2 minutes left that we're going to open up with some single prints above here too. They're hammering this low tick. 1200, there they go, they got it. Single prints is the target here. A little bit of short covering on that 28.75 there, so be careful if you're running this short. Profit taking 29.75, so weak-handed traders there. Apple's coming back down to its low. AMD's breaking its low. Amazon breaking its low. Google hasn't broken its its opening low. Meta's on the way down. Microsoft on the way down. Netflix on the way down. Tesla on the way down, but kind of balancing here. Let's watch Tesla for a second. It hasn't broken its low yet. You got that 50-day SMA down there at that 39.14. Could be a target there. E period opens up. We open up with single prints.
I just got smacked.
You got smacked?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when you get stuck in the hopium of all the BTC 250K, you never take profit realistically like you should. Yeah, there's a lot of people, you know, that are still in the negative here on crypto for sure. Call put ratio is 10-172, so a lot of puts coming in here. Markets could rally high if it wasn't for people exiting early, right? Yeah, they could. I mean, the market could rally if we do get some responsive buying down here, but really this is just shorter time frame traders, right? So if you imagine here, we had these shorter time frame traders and they were sitting on this 4150, they gave it up, right? Buying looked to get up, couldn't find any more initiated buying above that level. As it traded down, people started buying that low again, right? See where all the volume is at, holding. Eventually they quit and you get that push back to the bottom side. Big buy order on the 39 quarter, 500 lots. That's one of the bigger orders I've seen come in lately. Lack of supply pushes higher typically. Yeah, so if there is a lack of supply in the market, typically that's what gives the market a little bit of a bounce. Watch this 29 quarter level here. That's where that big offer came in. Tesla broke its low. I'm going to switch back to Apple. See, that tick really still hasn't got below that negative 1,000, but we've been, for the most part, chilling below the 0 level on the tick. You can see the breadth is starting to pick up, 3-1, 2-1 on the NASDAQ. Mostly, I mean, healthcare is about to flip red. Utilities and real estate, two small sectors, are, you know, barely just holding on to green, but nothing really, nothing really saying that we should be on the long side. Sebastian, that was you buying those 500 lots? Well, I hope you closed them. Because now you're sitting down 500 at 2 points is a pretty penny right there.
Is 500 lots 250 grand or 25? Yeah, 250 grand, right?
Target fill.
500 lots on per point. Be 5 times 5, so it'd be 250. Yeah. Back into those single prints. So look for responsive buying. See if they find any responsive buyers down here. That volume in that last period, D period, was about 8%, so a 1% increase from the previous C period there. Most likely covering, yeah, probably. They could be, a lot of times when you see big orders like that, they could be trying to initiate a rally, right? Giving people the confidence, like, oh, here's a big buy order. Let's see if we can get in there. Just kidding, you only short Bitcoin. Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna bring Colleen to get her rental car.
Oh, okay.
And then
Oh, okay.
you need anything.
No.
We have Maya.
Okay. You too. Have fun. Bye, buddy. Suppose I'm forgetting the fundamentals of supply and demand. There are maybe thinking too much about market mechanisms. What do you mean, double R?
I think that was in reply to the comment that I made, or what he originally started, and then I commented on.
Oh, okay. More volume starting to pour in down here. Thinking even to trade the ES though seems more rotational, stable for bigger sizing down the road. Yeah, Sebastian, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities and a lot of ways to kind of ease into trade the ES as well, right? They have the micro contracts. They also, you could utilize a sim trade as that's how I would recommend starting on anything before you develop, your own personal strategy. Spot just did its 5th buy for the day. Dang. Apple still just one time framing lower since the open. Didn't break its upside at all. 4th buy. Back into these single prints. Look to see if responsive buyers. There's an offer coming down 25.50. Look at the advanced declines really starting to turn down here, and you're starting to get some more downside. A little bit of short covering on that 24, it looked like there, but might just be momentum traders trying to sell into this low. 409 contracts trade on the low tick. Any sim is good, really. I mean, you know, depends on what platform you decide to trade on. Big volume coming in still. See if this offer at 25.50 moves out of the way here. $350 lots sitting on the 23 here. Yeah, any trading platform that you get probably comes with a sim or an opportunity to sim trade, and that's what I recommend, you know, at least for like the first month that you're trading the ES, just so you can get a feel for the market, especially if you're coming from crypto, because it does trade extremely different than crypto does. Selling off this previous C low here. Kind of looks mechanical. Buyers do kind of look to be stepping up a little bit right here on this 26.50, 26 level. Kind of a weak spot at 28.75 there. Then another weak spot up at the 30.5. J Trader said Tradeovate 2-week trial, repeat with different email address signups. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, Tradeovate has a nice way to that tracks your data as well too. I think Peter was using that for a while. Tradeovate.
Which one has a free 2-week?
Tradeovate. And I think they also have a TPO, a free TPO that comes with Tradeovate as well too.
Trader rate, like RATE?
Tradeovate, EATE.
Like V as in Victor?
Like V as Vincenza. Yeah, Victor. I'm just fucking around. Apple's just getting smoked right here, dragging the market down. See those weighted sectors really just, I mean, down here around 226, negative 226. It's the lowest we've seen in a couple of days. Definitely this week, that's the lowest we've seen it. All right, I'm going to close my short right here. I will be right back. Oh, a little bounce there, huh?
It'll be it.
That was me closing my short. That weak spot's still sitting up there at the 30.50. And if the buyers want to have any chance of closing those single prints, that's where they're going to have to trade above and start buying above. Still looks like the sellers are being fairly active, especially offering that 29.5, 29.25. And so if you're not in a trade right now, right, and you're just kind of thinking, okay, what's my next best trade, or what's the next thing I should do? What I'm looking for is I'm looking for this to trade up and to get us a fail in here somewhere, right? We know that 30.50 is an area where buyers need to get above. We can see how thin the profile is right here. So that's kind of the area I'm looking. I'm looking to see if it gets above there and sellers are willing to move down to keep these single prints active. That would be an opportunity to short, right? Put your stop right there back into value. Give us that opportunity. I'm not a huge fan of getting short down here on the lows. You know, it's just kind of a tough spot to get short and to hold, right? Because you're probably going to take a little bit of back and forth heat. He's never heard of Tradeovate. Well, he's Kevin's mostly trading crypto. So what did my phone go?
Can you trade cryptos on TradeBait?
Probably if they have access. I've never used Tradeovate, so I'm not sure.
I swear, Brad, every time the candle opens up red, it's like all the buyers just get scared. They're like, nope, screw this, don't like this. It's like they panic.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just all got liquidated here up above. But scared still to actually step on the gas. A little bit of short covering off that 25 right. If I believe in the direction, am I okay taking it? I take some heat. Yeah, if I'm confident in the direction. I would rather be patient, TJ, and wait better position, right? Because you know, we could just keep going down, right? And then I'll just wait for a different spot short on a pullback. I don't really like taking, especially with this low volume, getting into any trades that require breakouts to be profitable. You know, I mean, this could have been like a great spot to get short from, and I'll just miss that opportunity. That will be it. And I mean, basically, it's just telling me that I should have just not closed my short originally. Back into the single prints. Amazon not really, you know, hanging out with the other ones. Tesla's getting smacked though, which is dope. For me at least. Tesla puts. I think Tesla's gonna go to zero, like I said yesterday. I just don't think that the way that they, expect this green energy to work is possible.
Did you say you thought Tesla's going to go to zero?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna remain a company forever. I don't think EV is the way ahead, to be honest with you, because I don't think we have the infrastructure or the resources to do it, and people aren't really doing the research to it. And if you
You see
think
the
that
Texas,
all these rich people are just gonna let oil die, you're just living in a fucking fantasy land. And if you really look into it, they'd have to pull so many materials, right? A bunch of nickel, a bunch of aluminium, a bunch of lithium, a bunch of what was that other metal that they're using? Cobalt, right? To pull all of these resources out of the earth, which is their whole reason on why they don't want to take, oil out of the earth, because it's pulling from the earth, right? It's the same fucking idea. It's just going to cost billions of more dollars, and then they're going to have to redesign the power or the infrastructure or, the entire country, because they don't have a resource really that can store the energy that they make consistently for a long period of time. So it just doesn't really, to me, doesn't really add up. Not saying that it's going to go to zero today or tomorrow or the next day, but I just don't think that it's a company that stays around like as long as Coca-Cola or something like that.
You don't think we didn't have that same issue with and I'm not saying that EV is the answer. Don't get me wrong. Just because I drive a Tesla, it's just because I want to freaking go fast. Let's all be clear on that.
but did you see that Texas shut down their charge stations?
I did see that. Yeah, because it was fucking their grid up. That's why.
Well, here's the question. So don't you think we had that same problem when gasoline cars came out and they had that issue, and that it was just a matter? Here's my opinion, is that I think that the infrastructure follows the direction. And I'm not saying it's going to come quick, and I'm certainly not saying it's going to be painless. And whether Tesla sticks around or not, in my opinion, is somewhat irrelevant, in the fact that I think that as people push toward a direction, that the infrastructure comes with it, because people see the dollar signs.
That's true. That is a good point, because
Well,
most
also,
most people only care about money. So
Yeah, once you see the dollar signs, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll say this. On my drive down from Idaho, there was never a point where I was more than maybe, I don't know, let's say 100, 150 miles away from a charging station the entire drive. There were multiple times where it actually had me charge 15 minutes, 15 minutes between two of them that were, let's say, 60, 70 miles apart, because it was faster to do that than to do a 40-minute charge at the next one.
But you weren't at a state that turned their charge stations off either.
he is now. He's in Texas now.
Oh shit! Very well. But have you guys seen the forever? Have you guys seen the forever battery though? That you guys seen that yet?
I haven't.
It's like, yeah, it's supposedly the size of a deck of cards, or looked even smaller than that. But and it's supposed to be able to charge like an hour and charge. I forget the number, but it can power cars, so it's that powerful. And that's supposed to be coming out, and Tesla's looking into that. So, I mean, that could revolutionize. Because you're right, though, Brett. All the chemicals they have to mine for batteries, and then to get rid of batteries is a whole nother issue. But just the cobalt alone, I mean, they're using kids.
The battery technology will change, for sure.
It has to.
Whatever it is today. Yeah, but the idea of the infrastructure, in my opinion, I don't see how it doesn't go that direction, simply because that's where the money is.
Yeah,
I'll-
yeah,
I
but there's
mean,
a lot
just
of
think-
forces against it. Though. Have you seen the documentary "Who Killed the Electric Car"?
Well, but flip it to the other side. So the if you're looking at back orders, let's just talk about back orders. So there's currently a 6-month wait to get a Tesla vehicle. Can you name any other manufacturer where people are willing to wait 6 months and have to figure out how to
Absolutely.
get around?
Dude, Thor has a $4 billion back order right now. It's like a 2-year.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that like Tesla in general. I just think that eventually once the EV wave kind of dissipates, that Tesla might be the dyer of
They
that.
might not be able to handle it.
Right.
Yeah. They might be a what do they call that? I can't even think of the right word.
Because they have
Basically their fallout.
right, yeah. Because they have, I mean, their debt to income ratio is substantial because Elon is always constantly trying to improve. So the company's constantly spending money, and so like one bad move could really put him in the pooper. The only reason I'm kind of leaning towards them not really being able to switch the infrastructure like you're talking, Uncle Stacy, is that because of the money that it's going to cost to do that. Yeah, Double R, you got to be careful about hydrogen powered vehicles. You're going to get Jeffrey Epstein. But you know what I mean? Like the money that it's going to cost to, because a lot of these, not everyone's like California where we have all of our power stuff above ground for the most part. A lot of this stuff is buried in other parts of the country, and to dig all that up, like I'm just wondering, where that money's going to come from. You know what I mean? Not that, and I definitely agree with your point of view. Like people are going to go where the money goes, and if that's where the money's going, and that's where the money is going now, so everyone's on the hype train. And I guess this is probably this is the first time in my life where we've seen kind of a switch of energy, right? Because before, I mean, I don't even know before the automotive, mobile. I mean, it's been the past 100 years. If you really think about the advance in technology in the past 100 years, it's just remarkable. But I just don't know where, because there's also not an alternate. Like I don't have a think like, okay, well, if we're not going to go EV, what are we going to go? What are we going to do? Go back to fossil fuels, right? That's really like the only option. And so yeah, I don't it's a tough one.
From my perspective, I mean, I'll equate it to like the cell phone. So everybody had, back in 2006, everybody had freaking Nokias and Motorola's and whatever, and that was just the way it was. And then Apple came out with this flat freaking brick that you put to the side of your head to talk to someone, and everybody thought it was laughable. The most stupidest. BlackBerry was just like laughing them out the door. Thought it was lame. Yeah, the notion is that when people started going after it, everybody was signing up for freaking AT&T because they wanted an iPhone. Everybody and their dog switched. And just like and I'm not saying that Tesla is that, because the reality is I think that Tesla is somewhat of a niche just because of their expense or their cost. But overall, the drive is for, and people, the reason why people, like for me, the reason why I like my Tesla has nothing to do with saving the earth. Not that I could give a crap. I mean, I'm just saying that is definitely not my top concern. I am not trying to be green. I am not trying to be the future. I just want to when I push on the pedal, I want to go from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. That's the key.
Buy a Hellcat.
But a Hellcat can't even do that. I could take a Hellcat off the line.
Oh yeah, Tesla's tearing up pretty much every car, especially your car.
You cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot touch. So my car has the acceleration boost. I don't have the performance, so it's still basically the family sedan model, but it has the turbo boost or the acceleration boost, which is 3.6 seconds 0 to 60. But I can take any ICE, which is internal combustion car, below like $100,000, and I paid half of that for my car. So the bottom line is that I think that as people progress, I mean, just like people buy gaming machines that aren't gamers because they want to be able to do X, Y, Z, it's the same kind of thing. I'm not a huge muscle car kind of guy, but I like to go quick. I like that thing to move. And that as that progresses, and then there's the people, I want to save the earth. And then there's the people, I want sustainability, whatever. all of that kind of thing just sort of pushes that market. And the same thing of where that money goes, it's like just like the iPhone, where everybody thought it was laughable. Oh, this is a niche, this is that, this is this. And then all of a sudden, where's BlackBerry now? Where's Nokia now? All of those are dead. And you see GM and you see Ford getting into the EV,
First
but
one-
you have like the Mach E, which is a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
ugly
sorry,
as
piece of
fuck too.
crap.
The first one never
And-
strikes.
and-
Always second or third. Even with like, video games and everything else. It's always, first one's
So-
fine. It should be Netscape and AOL. Where they
Got
at?
some more singles coming up.
So
Fingerprints
anyway,
open
bottom
up
line
here?
is, in my opinion, it's not going away, and I think that's where the money is going to go.
No, the answer is in magnetic motors and where there's absolutely no cost of, and they know that that's the answer. And that's why the Green Deal is a bunch of BS. They have you trying to decide between oil and windmills and solar, which are both terrible technologies. It's not always solar, it's not always wind, and fossil fuels instead of gravity and magnetism. In fact, Tesla and Marcola were working on gravitics when Tesla died, which was like anti-gravity. It's spinning a disk or something. I don't know,
Well, it's not
some direction.
anti-gravity, it's gravity displacement.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So that's probably the answer. And that's why that shit's all getting hidden, because even just with wind power, there's all kinds of problems, so who knows? Definitely not fossil fuels though, that's for sure.
And the only thing that we'll find out, or the only way we'll find out, is with time. That's it. So we're opening up F period here with some more single prints. We'll see what they give us here. That last period, D was about, or E period, excuse me, was about 8%, 8.5% more volume than yesterday. It's all about funding their buddies' companies with taxpayers' money. That's the part that I really hate. Yeah, is like that. I say who's gonna pay for it, but I know it's gonna be us. That's why I fucking just hate it. That's why I almost kind of hope hope it goes
Tesla
this way.
had to be getting money from the government, especially for SpaceX. I mean, that's probably 100% government funded. That's just NASA inside.
Acceleration is a real addiction. Yeah, it is. So we came down, we filled those single prints, 50 SMAs down here below. Oh, go ahead and make this a little bit bigger and see what other levels we have down here. Go ahead and just get rid of these for now. Seeing some volume pour in down here at the low as you're seeing a little bit of these shorts start to cover. Next single prints aren't until that 3,900 level. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of action down there. All right, but we won't really see any, or I won't really be convinced of much upside until we at least close these lower single prints, but then we still have resistance of single prints above. That big level that I am watching up above still is that 30.50, right? I'm waiting to see how we act at that 30.50 to see if some of these sellers are willing to continue to move down and commit to selling the market down. SpaceX is better than NASA. Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that. But I mean, there's no way to know for sure. And I wasn't trying to stir up an argument or anything. That was just kind of like my own personal opinion of people that I've talked to that work in, like general maintenance and power supply and stuff like that, where a lot of them are, kind of the people that think that the most grids can't support it. So because I'm not an expert in that field, obviously. You know who we could have on? We could have on one of my older brother's dad. He works at a hydrogen powered company in San Jose, and be interesting to get him on for some perspective. But he would never do it. I don't even know if he has internet, even though he's an electrician. He lives a pretty simple life.
Have you ever made one of those hydrogen generators?
I have not, no.
So I got a funny story. So, me and a buddy were messing around, came across YouTube videos and stuff. So we're like, hey, let's build one of those. So we hodgepodged one together, and it wasn't pretty, so you couldn't see in it and stuff, but it was just made out of PVC. And we hooked it up, and it started putting out hydrogen. So we're like, hey, let's play with this. So we got a bucket of soapy water, stuck the end in it, started making these hydrogen filled bubbles. And so I got the bright idea, hey, I want to see how, what this is going to do if I take a lighter to it. So I grabbed a fistful, just kind of went out in the driveway, and I held it out, and I touched the edge of the bubbles with the lighter, and holy shit, it didn't burn, it fucking exploded. It scared, but I just had a little teeny amount, the size of, a little bit bigger than a golf ball, maybe the size of a baseball. And I was like, holy crap, this came from water.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
It was, yeah, it was crazy. It scared me so bad that all I could do was start laughing. It was crazy. And then we spent the next 10 minutes playing with it until we decided, we don't want to get the cops called on us, so we'll put it away. Yeah. But it was loud, louder than any firecracker you can get nowadays.
Isn't that amazing? It comes from water though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to break the bonds, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was kind of a pyro growing up, Brad. So you know those bopping balloons that you would tie a rubber band on and bounce
oh yeah,
it,
yeah.
Okay, so what I did is you take Drano and then you pour a bunch of balls of foil into it, and then cover it with one of those big balloons and let it fill all the way up, and then you tape a wick to it. You let it go, it starts floating, and you light the wick, and man, it's just like a giant fireball.
I hope nobody from the FBI is on the channel. Just saying.
Hey, I'm sorry. Are you anti-fun?
I'm not about anti-fun. I just don't want the channel to get shut down.
Oh,
I use this. I use this, guys.
Okay, sorry. Dang, I took a long right there, Brad, too, and I got out at 23.25, and I'm glad I did right now, but I actually thought we were kind of catching a bid right there. I was like, oh man, this thing looks like it might be ready to roll, but nope.
Yeah, I mean, we had mechanical selling right off that E half back. I'm not really convinced that there's any, extreme buyers showing up. Like I said, I want to see them at least close these single prints above. Honestly, that trade would have been a pretty decent trade off that short. I'm just not convinced of any real upside yet. And I mean, we're one time framing down too. And that's one thing that like I force myself not to go against is the one-time framing market. Is 23 quarter considered a weak spot in the profile? 23 quarter? So like yeah, like right, I mean I guess right here, yeah, there's kind of a lack of volume right here. That F high looked mechanical as well. So like I mean the selling off that is mechanical level.
Oh yeah.
But I'd like to see, if you're looking for that long, I'd like to see these singles close and you look to see them start to step up, volume start to pour in down here. We're seeing more volume shift down here, but see the volume pour in here and look to test above that 30-50, and then volume start to pour in and close those single prints, and that'll probably give you a revision back to the mean. But in reality, unless we get a fill in of this area and then get a cessation of one time framing with some volume, and it's just better just to be patient and go with the market. You can see the breadth picking up here too, right? Almost 3.5 to 1 here, 2 to 1 on the NASDAQ. See Apple taking down to its low right here. Take a look around here. We're looking at Apple's down 1.3, AMD's down 2.4, Amazon down 4.5, Google's down 2.3, Meta down 3.2, Microsoft down 3%, Netflix down 2%, Tesla's down 4%. They caught a little bit of bounce off that low there. Tesla did. But you're still seeing the weighted sectors continue to sell as they start to get a little bit lower. Have I ever tried any mean reversion strategies, indicators? I mean, like yesterday we traded mean reversion, right? So yesterday's profile pretty much, if you stayed patient all day and just bought lows and sold highs, you were just trading it back to the mean. If you're, you get in on some of these lows, I could have drawn one, but I didn't. And you just trade it back to the middle, right? I was just trading it back to this 62.50 pretty much all day. I didn't take any shorts yesterday. I was just buying lows, but there was opportunities. You could get a little bit greedy and try to trade back up to the high or the open, but that's just being greedy, and that normally doesn't end well. But yesterday was a reversion of mean, so it's not really just like a strategy, more than an identification of what's going on in that market currently. I don't know if there is any indicators on the Kelter channels. No, I've never used the Kelter channels. No. I read the book, what's it called? Let me see if I still have it. Book called The Turtle Traders. Trying to find the Complete Turtle Trader is the book by Michael W. Covell, and he was a he traded not the Kelter channels, the Donchian channels. And he believed that he could teach anybody to do it, and it was just a trend following strategy. So as long as the market was trending, you would get in it and then you wouldn't get out of it, but it was on a longer term basis as well. It wasn't necessarily on a intraday trade specifically.
See, maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't there, but every time I see it like go down, then it snaps back up like that. I'm like, okay, at least there's some buyers here, or vice versa. It's like at least there's somebody there to cause some sort of volatility other than just going down 2 points every 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you gotta think also that there is short covering going on down here as well. So like unless we get a close of those single prints above, right? That's what's going to be your first sign that there's actually responsive buying. Until we close these single prints, most of the time any of this upside is just caused by short covering. In my opinion. See, the VIX is up about 8% today too, 25 quarter. So there's some fear coming into the market here. There should be some decent, probably decent response off that 50 SMA down at the 14. If the market makes it down there, they could be front running that 50 SMA as well. Let's look at the and you see that 50 SMA actually came down 39.10 as of right now. About 14 minutes still. All right, Trin, we'll see you later. Have a good day. You sometimes refer to the kilter channels on the lower time frames as a qualifier. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You know who likes those is James. You should send him a message on Discord. He likes I can't remember. I know he likes one of the channels. And he's done some looking into it as well. Yeah, ask James about it. Here we go. Let's see if we can get these single prints closed. They prepare that mechanical high. Still kind of a mechanical high. Some selling off that E half back. Where was the offer at up here? Offer was at 25 half. And then really still watching that 30-50 level as a level that, that a convincing level that buyers are alive would be above that 30 half, because that would give us this cessation of one time framing here. There's decent odds and probabilities though here. Right, let's say if we don't close the single prints, stop goes here, target goes back down to where the volume is at. A little bit of aggression from buyers there on the 24. Lifting the offer there. He's not really great at getting back to people, Tommy. Or, I mean, Young Cryptic. Yeah. Uh-oh, we're getting invaded by spammers here. Where's YouTube at? Let me go ahead and block these people. I reported them. So unable to close those single prints here. There was buying on the 24, so let's see if they step up and try to continue to buy this 24. There are 2 tickets. Well, Apple catching a little bit of a bid here. Let's see if Apple can get that cessation of 1 time framing here too. Bonds are just kind of chilling still. VIX is coming down a little bit. Real estate, utilities, and financials are still the only green sectors here. There's consumer staples and healthcare as well, but financials are starting to turn green from here. So not able to hold that 24 there. Trade back down into the volume. So safe trade there. Like we talked about. Back down into the volume. Oh man. The big offer coming in sitting on the 30 that 39.30. VIX is way up there, 38, 37-ish level. Weekly VWAP, or I mean the VWAP is up at like the 37 level. The weekly VWAP's up at the 56 level. So there you go. So if you took that trade right now is a time that you should be taking a little bit off the table. Eight minutes left till this next period opens up. So shorts cover again back down on that 20. So hopefully you guys did the same. Now watch this 24 as we move back up to it. See if buyers are willing to step up and try to push back above that again. That's where that big offer was sitting at, was at this 24. There it is. Look to see if buyers step up and try to close these single prints. Remember, their target's going to be that E high naturally to get the cessation of 1 time framing. And then we know above that 30.50, we could see a short covering pop that would take us back probably to around that 36 level, where we should probably see some more mechanical sellers step in if they're going to step in, if they don't defend the 30.5. Roman, howdy. What are we looking at? We are looking at the S&P 500 futures on this chart. Right here, we're looking at the tick of the NYSE, right? Upticks versus downticks. Here, we're looking at the advanced decline of the S&P 500. Here, we're looking at volume up versus down. And then here, we're looking at Apple. Apple hasn't had a cessation of one time framing, but it did close those single prints to the low, just as the ES did as well. Big level still that 3050 is what I'm looking for. Mechanical selling off the D low. I don't really believe in that selling there. It's like longs or shorts are starting to cover here on the 25 quarter. But welcome, Roman. If this is your first time in the channel, you've come to the right place. Big offer still sitting up there on the 30, 296 lots. Probably a stop loss if you ask me. So someone's short, and that's probably where they're going to cut their position, their short position at. That's probably their last stand. So they're willing to hold the short unless it gets above that level. So above that level, that's why I think we might see some short covering. Really above that 3050. They're sitting on the 30, but above that 3050, I think we might see some short covering that'll look to test those D single prints here. And the F high looks mechanical as well, so it doesn't look like it's going to sustain. Cool. You're watching the ES? Nice. That's what this is, the ES. Yeah. Looking for that 39.30 break? Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for. I'm looking for that 39.5 or 30 half. Why are futures low on the heels of good earnings this morning? I mean, really, it hasn't been a ton of selling. A little bit more volume than yesterday, but yesterday's volume was so low that being above that is really nothing. I think you do have some people just liquidating today in preparation for the actual big earnings tomorrow or this afternoon with Microsoft, Google, and Facebook, or Meta, excuse me, reporting after hours today. And then it really, the big key driver is going to be the Fed tomorrow and the interest rate decision on, what the increase is going to be as far as interest rates. Meta is today after hours. Get at me, 30. Yeah. We're seeing a big bid step up on the 25 quarter there. Let's see if this thing can drive the market up or if they're just willing to or trying to hold the market up. Offer moves down on that 27.50. These are really tight bids and offers. 27.50 and 25 quarter, about 2 points apart. And right now is one of those times, right? So we just have 3 TPOs overlapping. So we're wondering if value is going to start to form lower, or is price going to revert back to value up there around that 39.40 where we have 4 TPOs. Looks like that bid disappeared that was on that 25 quarter. And the offer moved back off of that 27 quarter just a little bit, right? It was at like 300, now it's at like 200. So and it kind of seems to me like, somebody's slowly accumulating a larger position preparing for the move from the Fed tomorrow. Call put ratio is 19 to 77 there, so a little bit of buying. Whispers shows hey today, Google and Microsoft. Here, let's see. I'll tell you right now. Meta. Let's see. Count. Meta. Oh yeah, this shows tomorrow after the market. That's weird because the thing that I had was showing him today. Let's see. Yeah, I must have had my things messed up. Oh yeah. Oh no, it says Facebook, yeah. Tuesday after the close. G period opens up. Let's see if we get follow through. You have one tick above the F period. Remember that 30-50 is kind of the line in the sand for that seller, it looks like. It looks like that's where he's willing to kind of cut it. There goes the stops. Yeah, see, so this is what I had, but this is from Trading Terminal, and it shows Facebook Tuesday. That's why I was wrong. But I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. Definitely had the wrong info for sure. Where was that? Oh yeah, Earnings Whispers does show it tomorrow as well too. So that one, whatever that one I had was wrong. I'll post the right one in the Discord. So what the big move, the earnings or the Fed? I honestly think that it's gonna be the Fed, or maybe a combination of earnings because we have, I mean, what economic calendar? Go ahead and look at our economic calendar here. So if we see, I mean, today really not much. Tomorrow we've got pending home sales, retail inventories. We got the Fed interest rate decision, and then we go for the whole week. Thursday we have that GDP, so that could also be a big mover. Then we've got on Thursday the Apple and Amazon earnings, so that could be a big move as well. And then Friday we also have the PCE, and we also have a bunch of earnings coming from ExxonMobil, Chevron, a lot of the energy companies as well. So, you know, I think after today, besides, I mean, today hasn't been the biggest moving day, but after today, I think we're going to start to see some volatility kick back in. And you're seeing the VIX came up a little bit today, getting back above that 24 level for the first time in this week so far. But I mean, we already saw some big moves, right, from Walmart after their earnings yesterday. Right, big move down. They've been kind of coming back up, looking up to break their highs. But you saw this huge, like 10% move down. Amazon as well had a kind of significant move down after that yesterday. and it's still kind of just balancing on the lows here. So it'll be interesting to see what brings it to us. The only thing, for me, I'm not really gambling on earnings. Not something that I really do. Just kind of wait and let the market, tell me what it wants to do. As in the summer lull might be coming to an end. Maybe just for this week, right? It really is going to depend on, I think going to depend on what the Fed says. Big offer coming down the 34 quarter. This guy's really trying to hold this level. Above this 30.50 is where I'm kind of looking for the market to get a little bit of short covering back up, maybe try to close these single prints in D period. But I think maybe depending upon what he says, what the Fed comes out with tomorrow, you could just get big reaction, big move, and then because we don't hear from the Fed again until September. There's a Fed blackout during August, so that could just be back to these kind of summer tradings. And late August, early September, when earnings roll back around, you could see more volatility kick back in as everyone gets back from their weekend in the Hamptons or their summer in the Hamptons. Well, there's that 30.50. Let's see if these buyers are willing to jump up here and continue this up and look to close these single prints. If not, the original idea was to try to get short from up here. Only 8 contracts traded on that 30.50, or actually 30.75 it looks like. Yeah, 30.75. But now I'm kind of not really liking this this short here. AAP 2041, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. It looks like it might not have been a terrible idea, actually. Roman, thank you for the sub. How much volume we had in that F period real quick. 10%. So there's actually an increase of volume during F period here compared to E period. About 2% more volume in F than E. And compared to yesterday, so go on here. long the 920. Nice. Good long. Hello? Hey. I was just streaming. Not. I don't really want to go. Curtis. Curtis. Hang on. I'm okay. Oh, okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. Probably add one more down here if it comes back enough, depending. Yeah, let's see what happens here. A lot of volume here. Amazon's chilling. Google's coming down to that negative gamma level here at the 105. If it gets below that 105, you might start to see more selling come into the market. Still some single prints here on Google though. New things fade in and old things fade out throughout the history. The only constant is change. I'm a seller under the 21.75 at the moment, but that's subject to change at any moment. Buyer. Oh yeah, buyer. That short from that 30.50 would have been nice. Waited for it, planned it, didn't take it though. If you're new to the
Would you
channel,
say we're kind of one? Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Jordan. I was just going to talk about the
Oh,
channel. So.
I was gonna say, doesn't it look like we're kind of one time framing up? Like in my opinion, if we don't break past that like 22, probably, I would say it looks like we're just kind of one time framing up. If they can't start knocking out some of these lows.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is getting a bit of a rebound for sure down here. And it looked like mechanical selling here. That seller just kind of sitting up there and looked like they defended their position instead of giving it up, like which is kind of what threw me off of that, taking that short. And I was in a long too, and I don't want to reverse right away. But yeah, I think that it's definitely some accumulation down here, and especially if if they don't come back down and start to get some volume in this thin spot on the profile here, then there could be some potential upside. See how it acts right here when it comes down. $921.75 as your swing low. But yeah, if you are new to the channel and this is your first time watching, and you are interested in joining a Discord that is full of traders with like-minded ideas looking to just take control of their time. You know, that's kind of what we do, is we want to be in control of our own time here. Let me know and I will post that link for you guys so you guys can jump in. Only thing I ask is that you be positive and respectful. We have a good community, not like a lot of other Discord channels with a bunch of trolls in it. So if you jump in and start to try to troll, I'll just boot your ass out. Battle over here of this 24 quarter. A lot of offers moving down here. Look to see if they can actually push through. Willing to sit a little bit offsides down here. I don't know. I mean, to be convinced of that upside, really. I mean, there's opportunities, obviously, because the market's a two-way market, but you know, I wanted to see a little bit more conviction from buyers up here, but we only got eight trades on that high tick, so not really any conviction from buyers up there. Mechanical low too. So that's this mechanical low. If this G low holds and we get back above this volume, then there's good odds that this these single prints close here. Right, mechanical low that holds, or any mechanical level that holds, is really just an indication that the shorter term time frame traders are in control of that position. And you know, in reality, if this level holds, it's in this situation is showing us that there's a lack of supply down here at the lows and unable to kind of push through. And you're starting to see a little half pipe form here. And we talk about these half pipes. This seller's just been active up there. So the further away we get from this mechanical low, right, we imagine that there's probably selling down here, as we can see it kind of poured in on that 23 quarter. Above that, you start to see shorts get scared, especially on this F high. Above this F high, you'll start to see these shorts start to get scared and cover, and where they're really at is sitting on this 30. Above that is where I think, you know, that's where we'll probably get the run from if buyers are willing to step up and initiate, which we haven't seen yet, right? And that's, you know, that's the key idea here, is just to wait for these pullbacks if you're going to get in a long or a short, and don't try to go for a breakout trade, because breakout trades, I mean, this whole past 2 weeks really have not been favorable. We had the Fed, you know, blackout this week, and this week we got the Fed coming out of the closet. So we'll kind of see if that gives the market a little bit more confidence on what direction it wants to go. And there's really no way to know, like, you know, if the Fed comes out and they do a half basis point, or if they do a full basis point, or if they do a quarter basis point, or if they do 3/4 basis point, right? What the market's going to do from that level. There's no real rhyme or reason to that. It's just we just have to pay attention for the impulse. Big short covering there.
A lot of it's already baked in.
That's what they say, but I don't really believe in that, because that would be believing in the efficient market theory, and I don't believe in that. But I mean, it could be. You never know.
I mean, at the very least, people are anticipating it. It's not going to be a zero.
Right. I just don't think, I still think, like, you know, you can anticipate something all you want, but there's still going to be, because of natural human instinct and the emotions that are tied to humans that they're going to react a certain way, right? They could be, there's plenty of people that are probably positioned really long. Let's say the Fed comes out and says we're going to do a full basis point, the market sells off 100 points. Well, they might, not have the conviction in that trade anymore because now they're sitting in the red. They start to cover their position when really a bigger buyer, larger fish, Star Wars style, is just scooping them up and taking the market a little bit higher after a huge spike down, or inversely to the upside, to the huge spike up and then conviction to the downside. It's tough, kind of like we were talking about earlier, to maintain that conviction in the face of volatility. Either way, yes, get in on the edges, make your projection, put your money where your mouth is, and ready to get out if you're wrong. But the way they move price, it makes it feel like initiating in the middle is right, but initiating in the middle is a sucker's game. Might as well flip quarters. Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it. Well, Stephen Wright joke where they say, why is it a penny for your thoughts, but you have to put your 2 cents in? Somebody's making a penny. After cover the market maker spread. Let's see if this seller is going to go ahead and just call it a day. Both directions seem to have lost their steam. Yeah, people always play the volatility. It's human nature to gamble. You want Apple to break that 151.75? Let's go back to Apple. Let's see if they can pop this 30.32. Here goes Apple trying to break up as well. Seeing the advanced decline start to pick up and try to make a higher high. Up here needs to get back above that 103 level. You're starting to see the selling in those weighted sectors and unweighted sectors a little bit less on that last push down. Offer still active up here around that 30 level. And remember, this can just easily be a pop, lock, and drop here, which is why you don't want to be taking a breakout trade. About 7 minutes left. Remember, we're looking to see if, right, we have value up here, 4 TPOs. We have 3 down here and a 4th here. So there is a little bit of value building lower. We want to see if price going to continue or value is going to continue to build lower, or is price going to have to revert back to value to find, more opportunity. They're back at that 30 level, still offering pretty heavy here. See if we can find some somebody getting trapped up here at this. Seller still offering the 30 half here. Way too many people think they're trading when they're just gambling. Looks like the market is getting ready to move up. Divergence is brewing. Crypto Mojo, what are you talking about? That would be an interesting. I'd love to hear that stream. What do you mean? So on a break of this 30-50, really what you'd want to see if you want to get continuation to the upside is you want to see the shorts cover rapidly and kind of run for the door. But now that we're back at this level, you're seeing that offer pop in around 31, 300 lots, and then there's a 300 lot order sitting down on the 27 quarter here as well. So you want to see somebody just give up or move out. 31 quarter bit key to get above, then 35, then eventually 41.75. Yeah, that 41.50, 41.75 was a key level off of the break this morning for sure. That T2 low. Gordon, do you chart patterns for your trading? If yes, potential cup and handle on the 5 minute and the 1 minute above the 30.75. I don't really look at patterns like that. I look at like inventory patterns, but that's an interesting thought. Here we go. We'd like to see some fast covering here to let you know that buyers are willing to step up, and then you want to see shorts run for the door here. If not, it's kind of just going to be weak little pop, lock, and drop possibly. Don't really look at TA patterns like that personally. Yeah, neither do I. More short covering on this 30-50 here.
What pattern?
Someone was saying, MP was saying that there is a potential cup and handle forming on the 5 minute. Let's see. Let's take a peek at this. 5 minute.
On what? On the ES or
On
what?
the ES, I think, yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, you could see it here. I could see that. A little bit of this. And if it breaks out here, you'll look to retrace this amount. So you'd be looking to go from talk about 20 to 30, so about 10 points up would take you around to the 40 level, which would make sense because we have that seller that's still mechanically selling off that T2 low. And then value, back in there. So yeah, not in an unbelievably possibility. Apple's got a lot of stops here lurking above too, above this 5174 level. Above that level, if it is able to pop, that could draw the market up a little bit as well.
New bar.
Here we go, H period opening up. And so one thing that I like to consider here, right, even though it's not technically market structure, is I'm going to be looking at this level here as a single print, right? A single print in G, untouched unless this H period comes down and closes it in. But if well, there they go. But if it didn't close, right, you'd be looking, that would give me more confidence in the bias to the upside, to get continuation here to the upside. On that note, I think I'm gonna call it here. We actually went on a little bit longer than normal. It's already 1 o'clock. I didn't even realize. I'm gonna grab some lunch and then a little time, do some relaxing before I gotta get my haircut here at 3:30. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Remember, like I said, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and post in the comments or comment down below the video if you're watching this on the replay, and I will shoot you a message to get you that link for the Discord. Only thing I ask is that you be positive and respectful, right? We don't want to get a bunch of trolls in the Discord. We have one of the better communities on Discord, so we'd like to keep it that way. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, just don't trade. And if you don't know how to make a trade plan, jump in the Discord and ask around or take a peek. A lot of people post their trade plans every day. So yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys later.
Peace, brother. See you, everybody.
See you later.